What is going on, YouTubians? A reloading bench. You know, before we talk about the reloading bench, I have too many projects going, and I think that I need to trim that down. Now let's think about it. I just need to get my life together, so to speak. What do I currently have going on? A vehicle build. Could be a bus, could be an RV. Currently, Project 73 Squared out there in the driveway, which, by the way, is for sale if anybody's interested. Don't have to get rid of it, but I would let it go for a small fee of $10,000. I actually would want to build a second one, and I want to change the way I did some stuff. Nothing bad, but I'd like to do that. I think it'd be easier to start from scratch than modify what I got. But anyways, I've got my vehicle projects. I've got the waste oil project going on. Currently, the truck has got a hydro boost that's leaking, so therefore, I'm not driving it, not nearly as much as I was. Therefore, I'm not burning through the amount of oil that I was because it's sitting in the driveway, at least until it gets a little bit warmer outside. So I'm not using any of that oil. I do want to get some of that mess picked up. I've got a lot of it gone. I still need to get rid of the aluminum tanks or the steel tanks in the back that I was using. I want to get them out of here, get the rest of the stuff cleaned up. The hoses and pumps, I actually plan on putting in a toolbox I've got. Tried to sell the toolbox, didn't have any takers on it. Project number 3, working on the electronics and bushcraft. We'll group those together. Obviously, the bushcraft is out because where I blew out my knees, I'm no longer allowed to go bushwhacking, so to speak. And the electronics are not really doing anything for me, so I've kind of lost interest in those. Another thing I've talked about in the channel, stamps. I think I did some videos on those years ago. I pretty much quit messing with those because I got to a point where I can no longer afford what I need to continue the collection. You know, I've got every single stamp from I want to say 1920 up to, I think 1990 is when I stopped collecting. And I've got every stamp. Everything I need is early on stuff. My reloading. You know, I've done a ton of shotgun stuff. Tons and tons and thousands of rounds. Maybe not thousands. It could be thousands. It's definitely a lot. But I've got all the shotgun stuff. I kind of took a break from that because I didn't have a place to mount the presses. And moving them back and forth was kind of a pain in the butt. So I kind of want to get into some reloading some brass. And I had that press mounted on the corner of my main workbench, but it was in the way. And I kind of don't like working over there when I'm trying to do stuff, you know, sparks and electrical stuff and whatever, and have my reloading stuff tied into it. So I decided to build this bench. I figured out roughly how much I need and added 25%. And I think that it is going to work out nice. Powders, I actually want to put in the cabinet. And I've got another toolbox that's 2 foot tall. Or it's 2 foot long, but I can stand it on end. Has an open door. I might try to use that and put under this bench to store the powder in. That way it's not out in the open. I think it's right at 2 foot. That's almost 27 inches, so it would fit underneath this. This box down here is nothing but shotgun stuff, wads and things like that. Excuse me. But I'm kind of like the layout on this. I've temporarily got the powder measure laid out. I think I want to put that on a block, and so I can move it around a little bit, or I might keep it there and just load. The shotgun press isn't mounted, but the brass press is. Get you off this tripod and I'll show you what I got over here. We'll zoom you in a little bit closer. The Hornady lock and load press, that is actually new to me. I had a small Lee version of this. It wasn't built this good, and I haven't actually done anything on this yet, but I'll probably do some this weekend. Hornady's lock and load powder measure. My last video was on that. I do have it on an RCBS stand because I wanted it to sit taller off the table than what Hornady offered. The Pacific DL 155 shotgun press. I've actually got two of them. The other one is up there under that pillowcase. I've got a broken tube. That is sad. I bumped it. And it sucks because the new ones will say Hornady, not Pacific. Makes me sad. I'm going to see if I can fix that. Just a cheap Midwest tumbler. Reloading books, I've got several of those, shotgun, and a couple of the Hornady books. I don't know where I'm going to put them. Maybe right here. A couple things for shotgun, powder trickler, powders, scales and calipers. I've got my shell holders right here. I've got more that are than what fit in the little Lee box. So I may try to, I like that box a lot. I may try to find another one. I've got a couple of my dies. You know, 9mm 45 is what I do. I've got a buddy that's got some 41 mag. He needs reloaded. So I found that die set extremely cheap on eBay. That's where I keep my bullets. Ammunition boxes. I think the specialty brass, well, specialty to me, this is I think 44 mag, which I don't even have a 44 mag. I think I'm going to keep in boxes like this instead of in bags. Shotgun boxes I use to reload. As I reload, I put them in the shotgun boxes. Miscellaneous brass. My load blocks. I've got my die set for the Pacific presses. Bushing charges, or powder bushing, powder bushings in those boxes. I got different tools there in these boxes. You know, each thing, like hand loaders have their own box, the press has their own box. It's got the manual and the miscellaneous parts that came with it. Lee molds. We've got some powder scales. I do keep all my old primers for some reason. I've got, that's damaged brass in there. And then I've got my tumbling media there. And then in these ammo cans up there, I have spent brass. I still need to finish with this shelf right here, get everything cleaned off and get it moved out. And then it should leave me like 7 feet between the edge of this and my toolboxes on the back side. I made this shelf or counter a little bit tall right here. For that reason right there, I wanted that chair to be able to slide underneath of it. So, like I said, that's just a quick little look at my reloading bench, you know, and kind of what I'm doing with it. I'm sure it'll change as I get to really using it. It's a lot more room than I've had in the past, but I'm happy with it. If y'all have any questions or want to see anything on, you know, any of the stuff, let me know. It's all basic equipment and all towards the lower end of the spectrum as far as I'm concerned, which is fine. It still reloads. Anyways, you guys be good and be safe, and we will catch you next time.